Hi, everybody. Good morning. I am trying a new way of recording. I do have my earphones on, so we'll see how this works. Somebody asked me to actually look into gold. I will be looking into it now. But before I start the video, please remember to give me a like, subscribe, and comment. If you have any other requests on TA, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. If you want to join the Patreon, I will pin it in the comments and I will also have it in the description. You can go back to any video and you can find the Patreon in any past video on the description. And again, when you join, I show you exactly everything that I know about trading, as well as share my indicators, right? Which are you can ask anybody from my Patreon. They're ridiculously OP. So if you want to grab these indicators, go ahead and join the Patreon. I'll show you guys how to use it. Have a big video on it. But with that being said, let's get started. Um, Gold, a very important catalyst to what the dollar can actually, reflect, right? So as of right now, the DXY or the dollar index, we actually have we actually have it bouncing on a perfect retest from a trend that started. Oof, this is, things can potentially get extremely bad for stocks, right? But it's bouncing off of a trend that started back on July 2001, right? And generally, what happens here is you actually have, generally when you break big trends like this, you generally have a retest of trend, and then you have an absolute moon to the upside, right? But what's happening here with the dollar, or with gold, right? So we look at gold, um, we can actually see it right now on previous trends. So this trend has been going on ever since. Again, same same thing. This can actually be pushed a little bit more to the bottom end because it does look like it has a little bit more wiggle room on the lower side. So we'll do this like around there. Gold actually looks like it broke back to the upside of trend, and you're actually going to keep pushing towards possibly 1833, right? You can see this at least short term on the 8 hour. You actually closed the perfect entry on the 8 hour. Last time you did this, you started a really nice trend from 17.3 all the way up to like 1808. So possibly like a $70 push, right? In a case like this, you'd actually see this run to like an 18.6, right? So next stop, probably going to be the support, this resistance here, maybe up to like here, somewhere around this area, right? But what's more important here is this weekly bear close, and it's essentially a perfect entry on the weekly, right? So you're still technically, you broke this major downtrend that gold was actually having for, the longest time, right? So either way you put it, this trend broke, right? You have your first major trend here. You can use the bigger wick there, right, and run this trend like this, right? So roughly the same thing. You broke this regardless. There's no way that you would not consider this a break of major trend on the bottom side, right? So overall, you are looking like you're actually breaking structure here. You might keep coming up a little bit more to 1834, 18.6, right? And then come back down here to retest this and then push up. So overall, you actually do have the gold trying to run up, right? Which is pretty insane because you do have the dollar looking like it's going to go up as well, especially on the weekly, right? The last time we actually had a perfect entry on the weekly for the dollar was back on the week of May 2021, which was what started its move up from here, right, from these lows all the way up. It's pushed to like 114, right, and a jump like that was what I mean. We had a really ridiculous run here on the dollar, right? You had this whole move up of roughly $24 in about what a little bit under 2 years. So again, can we expect a similar move from here, right? If we close a bullish week here, right? If you close a bullish week in the next 400 and whatever days, right? $24. I mean, I still have this target of 126 on the dollar, but $24 would put us pretty close to there, right? And and the bad part of this is that this actually pretty clearly forecasts us going to 120, 126 on the dollar, but that means that stocks can possibly drop down to what is it called? I don't know, a 126 DXY would mean that SPY is at like 280 or something, which is ridiculous. So right now everything is kind of at a major edge spot, right? So um, You can definitely have short term, you can definitely have gold push up, but it does look like overall it wants to come back down, which also means that, the dollar would push up, which also means that stocks would come back down again, right? Overall, I'm still pretty bullish on the SPX. I do think we'll have a rally again. This whole push to the low side has been kind of insane. I do think that is a little bit more bearish than anything. I actually am a little bit more bullish. I actually think we bounce from here and go back to this upcoming week. We actually go back to 400, possibly back to like 412, maybe around this area. And then if we actually do drop on this next level, then I think the real crash happens, right? You guys know that I've been bullish. I've been bullish this whole time here. I've been doing nothing but martingale longs here. So I've been buying all this because I do think that we're going to come back one more time before the actual drop, right? I do think that's what's going to happen. Um, and again, I think this drop on news was just, I think I think it was too much, right? I think this drop was just a little bit more than it should have been, right? And I think you have a really strong chance, again, of coming right back up here. This is going to be considered your low, you're coming back up and then shooting down, right? But again, if it's coming up here, really good chance that you could break to the upside again, right? So, but overall, I am looking for another push on the SPX to the upside. Longer term, you know, gold does look like it's probably going to crash from here, right? I'll be honest. Longer term on the weekly, it does look like you're creating a perfect entry on the weekly to come right back down. And again, you have a perfect example here of the last time it closed the perfect entry. You went from 1914 all the way down to 1679. So, a solid $300 drop. Again, $300 drop from 1825 would be like 1525, right? So 1525 probably would put us down around this support range. So overall, dollar looks like it's going to win over gold. The dollar index looks extremely strong. I do think we have one more rally on SPX before the real crash happens. I think we can go back all the way up to 412 this week. I am looking for a minimum of like 401, or like a 401 to like 412 range on the SPX this week. And again, if we do end up dropping, fantastic. But again, it doesn't really matter for me. But again, gold specifically does look like it's going to drop. You might actually see it run up a little bit more before it actually has that push down to 1525 overall. So with that being said, I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.